Alright, hello, good morning everybody. It is I, Granorite. Here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald with our Gen 3 type challenge of Water type, our 6 Water type team out of 9. That's all we have left is Water type teams. And this team, as you can see, this will be Corsola, Qwilfish, Golduck, Starmie, and Marshtomp. As we do, we're going to read about these Pokemon biologies, get them up to level 7, and then get up to Rustboro in this first episode. Starting here with Mudkip. Knows Torrent for its ability. Decent stats, Tackle and Growl at level 5. What do we know about Mudkip? Medium slow leveling rate Pokemon. Mudkip is a small amphibious quadrupedal Pokemon. It has a blue body with a light blue underside. Mudkip has a large head with a blue fin on top and a light blue tail fin. It has black beady eyes and orange star-shaped gills on its cheek. By using the fin on its head, Mudkip can detect changes in air and water currents as well as bodies of water. It can also point in a certain direction, as seen in Pokemon the series Ruby and Sapphire episode Date Expectations. Despite its small size, Mudkip is a very strong Pokemon. Mudkip is capable of moving or crushing boulders larger than itself. As mentioned in the Sleep Style Dex, Mudkip has been seen attempting to crush rocks with all of its might, even while asleep. Mudkip has 4 different sleep styles: fin fluttering sleep, nodding off sleep, rock hugging sleep, and a top belly sleep. Its large tail fin provides powerful acceleration to propel it through the water. According to its Pokemon Ranger browser entry, Mudkip is a very docile Pokemon. Mudkip is more commonly found in captivity, though it can be found in swamps and other wetlands. In the wild, it sleeps by burying itself in mud soil at the water's edge or at the bottom of a river. It has recently been seen living in the terrarium of Blueberry Academy. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Mudkip. Ruby says the fin on Mudkip's head acts as a highly sensitive radar. It uses this fin to sense movements of air and water. This Pokemon can determine what is taking place around it without using its eyes. Sapphire says in water, Mudkip breathes using the gills on its cheek. If it is faced with a tight situation in battle, this Pokemon will unleash its amazing power. It can crush rocks bigger than itself. Emerald says on land, it can powerfully lift boulders by planting its 4 feet and heaving. It sleeps by burying itself in soil at the water's edge. And Fire Red and Leaf Green says its large tail fin propels it through the water with powerful acceleration, and it is strong in spite of its size. And next we have Staryu. And Staryu here has Illuminate for its ability, so it is not going to help us anything with that. Decent special attack and speed stats, knows Tackle and Harden at level 5. A slow leveling rate Pokemon. Staryu is a golden brown echinoderm Pokemon with faceted skin and 5 appendages. These appendages surround an exterior organ called the core. The core resembles a golden metal casing with a red gem in its center, which is held in place by a golden ring looped around Staryu's lower left point. Staryu has no jointed limbs to speak of, instead using their psychic powers to move themselves around. If any of Staryu's appendages are lost or eaten by predators like Lumineon, it is unharmed and can grow them back with ease, provided the core is still intact. When the sun goes down, Staryu's core glows its brightest. Many Staryu will float from the seafloor to the surface and align themselves with stars in the night sky as their core flickers, displaying a connection with the celestial bodies of space. In the Pokemon the series, the beginning episode Bye Bye Psyduck, it is shown that if Staryu becomes weak, its core will grow faint and flash slowly. During the ends of summer, groups of Staryu tend to gather while lighting up in a steady rhythm. Staryu can be found at the very bottom of the ocean and on the seafloors. There are times, however, when Staryu finds itself in rivers that lead to the ocean, as seen in Pokemon Snap. In Generation 3, Camouflage was its signature move. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Staryu. Ruby says Staryu's center section has an organ called the core that shines bright red. If you go to a beach toward the end of summer, the glowing cores of these Pokemon look like stars in the sky. Sapphire says Staryu apparently communicates with stars in the night sky by flashing the red core at the center of its body. If parts of its body are torn, this Pokemon simply regenerates the missing pieces and limbs. Emerald says it gathers with others in the night, making its red core glow on and off with the twinkling stars. It can regenerate limbs if they are severed from its body. Fire Red says it appears in large numbers by seashores. At night, its central core flashes with a red light. And Leaf Green says an enigmatic Pokemon that can effortlessly regenerate any appendage it loses in battle. Next we have Psyduck, who has Cloud 9 for its ability, so negates weather effects. All decent all-around stats, no Scratch, Water Sport, and Tail Whip here at level 5. And what do we know about Psyduck? Psyduck is a medium-fast leveling rate Pokemon. Psyduck is a yellow Pokemon resembling a duck or a bipedal platypus. On top of its head are 3 thick strands of black hair, and it has a wide, flat, cream-colored beak. Psyduck's eyes seem vacant and have tiny pupils. Its legs and tail are stubby, and it has a cream-colored webbed feet. There are 3 claws on each of its hands. Psyduck is constantly stunned by its headache and unable to think very clearly. It usually stands immobile, trying to calm its headache. However, when its headache becomes too severe, Psyduck releases tension in the form of strong psychic powers. The use of these powers produces brain waves identical to those seen in sleepers, and the Pokemon is unable to recall these episodes. Psyduck lives in freshwater lakes and small ponds. It can be seen in rivers and tropical areas, as shown in Pokemon Snap. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Psyduck suffers headaches while it sleeps. Very rarely, their sights are Psyduck sleeping peacefully while not holding its head. Prior to Generation 5, Psyduck and its evolved form Golduck were the only known Pokemon that could have Cloud 9 as an ability. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Psyduck. Ruby says Psyduck uses a mysterious power. When it does so, this Pokemon generates brainwaves that are supposedly only seen in sleepers. This discovery spurred controversy among scholars. Sapphire says if it uses its mysterious power, Psyduck can't remember having done so. It apparently can't form a memory of such an event because it goes to an altered state that is much like a deep sleep. Emerald says when its headache intensifies, it starts using strange powers. However, it has no recollection of its powers and is always looking befuddled and bewildered. Fire Red says it is constantly racked by a headache. When the headache turns intense, it begins using mysterious powers. And Leaf Green says while lulling its enemies with its vacant look, this wily Pokemon will use psychokinetic powers. And next we have Qwilfish. Qwilfish has Poison Point for its ability, which is always something that's really nice. Good stats because it is a single evolution Pokemon. Nose, Tackle, Spikes, and Poison Sting here at level 5. A medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Qwilfish is a sea-dwelling piscine Pokemon with a spherical body and a flat paddle-shaped tail. The upper half of its body is dark teal and the lower half is a greenish yellow. The tail is tall and thin with a dark teal outline, light greenish yellow inside, and 2 dark teal dots in the center that resemble the Japanese character Ha. Its eyes are even with its body and are always seen slanted angrily. Before its eyes are puffy pink lips, and all around this body are sharp conical spikes, which evolve from scales over time. In order to attack, Qwilfish drinks over 6.2 gallons or 10 liters of water to inflate its body. It then uses the water pressure to shoot poisonous quills at its foe, which can cause fainting. Qwilfish is briefly left defenseless shortly after firing its quills. This is believed by some experts to be the opportune moment to catch this Pokemon. Due to its round body, Qwilfish is not a great swimmer, and when filled with water, it is even harder for it to swim. When Qwilfish faces a larger opponent, it will inflate its body to match its size as close as it can. If it is startled while inflated, it will spit out all its water, propelling itself away. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Qwilfish. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say Qwilfish sucks in water, inflating itself. This Pokemon uses the pressure of the water it swallowed to shoot toxic quills all at once from all over its body. It finds swimming somewhat challenging. Fire Red says the small spikes covering its body develop from scales. They inject a toxin that will cause fainting. Leaf Green says to fire its poison spikes, it must inflate its body by drinking over 2.6 gallons of water all at once. And next but not least, we have Corsola. Corsola knows Tackle right now. Good defensive stats, has natural cure for its ability, so it'll heal any status effects on switching out. a fast leveling rate Pokemon. Corsola is a small pink roundish Pokemon with branch-like growths on its back, which are similar to Coral. There is a smaller blunt horn on its forehead, and it has an oval-shaped black eyes and a smiling mouth. There's a light blue underside, which speckles towards the sky. Its 4 legs and 2 arms are blunt and stubby. Smaller Pokemon like Horsea and Luvdisc are sometimes sheltered by Corsola's branches, and even offer it protection from foes. Corsola's horn is a prized material commonly used for jewelry and carving, as seen in the Pokemon the Series episode of Corsola Caper. Some people keep Corsola branches as charms to promote safe childbirth. Corsola's branches glitter very beautifully in 7 colors when they catch sunlight. If any branch breaks off, this Pokemon grows it back in just one night. Found in warm, shallow waters of southern seas, Corsola requires clean water to live. If its habitat is dirty, the growths on its back become discolored and degenerate. However, when it is healthy, the growths regularly shed and grow back. It is able to regrow them over the course of a single night. It forms large social groups. Occasionally, these groups get so large that people may live atop them, as seen in Pacific Log Town. In the Alola region, Miarni and Toxapex are natural predators of Corsola, preying on its branches. If pursued by them, Corsola will sometimes snap its own branches off as a diversion. Conversely, Marini and Toxapex do not prey on Corsola in the Galar region, having not developed a taste for its branches. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Corsola. Ruby says Corsola's branches glitter at very beautifully in 7 colors when they catch the sunlight. If any branch breaks off, this Pokemon grows it back in just one night. Sapphire says clusters of Corsola congregate in warm seas, where they serve as ideal hiding places for smaller Pokemon. When the water temperature falls, this Pokemon migrates to southern seas. Emerald says Corsola lives in warm southern seas. If the sea becomes polluted, the beautiful coral stalks become discolored and crumble away in tatters. And Fire Red says in a South Sea nation, the people live in communities that are built on groups of these Pokemon. And Leaf Green says it continuously sheds and grows. The tip of its head is prized as a treasure for its beauty. Alright, well let's go get the team up to level 7. Starting here with Corsola. Corsola wants defense and special defense, so we're looking for C-Dots and Lotads. There be the Lotad. And with it being a fast leveling rate Pokemon, we shouldn't need a whole lot of them, which is nice. Let's see if we can find another one. Oh, it's a shiny Lotad. We're gonna beat it up. Remember, we'll be using shiny Pokemon on our Fire Red and Leaf Green playthroughs. Get out of here. Almost got it. Need like one more. It's only like the second shiny Pokemon I've run into in all these playthroughs. Alright, next let's do Mudkip. Mudkip wants HP and attack, so Poochyenas and Wurmples. Oh, we learned Mud Slap. Very nice. Let's go heal really quick. No Ralts. Sadly, we want those for a couple other Pokemon, but Mudkip is not one of them. One more. There we go. Alright, let's do Qwilfish next. Qwilfish wants attack and speed, so that would be Poochyenas and Zigzagoons. I can find them. There we go. Good poisons. So I think, what was it? Our slowest leveler was Staryu. I think everybody else was medium slow, medium fast. Or fast. Well, actually, I wanted Zigzagoons, didn't I? I could have fought that Zigzagoon. Whoops. Alright, let's go heal, because we're getting a little low. Very nice. One more. Alright, let's swap up Staryu next. Put Psyduck up here. So Staryu wants special attack and speed. So we're looking for Zigzagoons and Ralts. Now we don't have a whole lot of attack on Staryu. So we need to be careful fighting the Zigzagoons. Oh, there's a Ralts, and we'll swap Psyduck in so they both get this. Because Ralts are pretty rare. Oh, it's the second one. What do you know? Nope, nope, nope. There's a Zigzagoon. Let's go heal. Very nice. Oh, we learned Water Gun. Excellent. Alright, I'm just gonna swap these two really quick. And Psyduck wants special attack and special defense, so low Tads instead of Zigzagoons, but still looking for Ralts otherwise. Like that one. And then we will go ahead and swap Water Gun up with Staryu. Low Tads, where are you? Low Tads. Tons of Poochyenas. Come on, Lotad. You're not that rare. You're actually more common than the Ralts we've been running into. There's one. Alright, let's go heal really quick. Just in case we'd run into more Ralts, we're going to swap these two around. Ralts and Zigzagoons. There we go. We'll keep looking. There we go. There's 7 on Staryu, so we just need to get 7 on Psyduck. And this Lotad should do it. Alright, let's go heal and then start making our way uptown. Let's use Qwilfish on this first fight. Just fish for that poison, and we got it. Very nice. Good deal. Alright, let's swap Mudkip up. Mudslap's not really good to use against Wurmple, so we'll just tackle into it. Keep it going. At least the inter-episode grass training is not going to be super long. Alright, let's swap up Staryu. It's still gonna take a bit to level up between episodes 1 and 2 to level 15, but it's not gonna be horrible. Good job, Staryu. Grab these berries. We're gonna let Qwilfish take on the Shroomish. I would like to, you know, get HP on Mudkip, but Mudkip's not good against Shroomish, especially since they know Absorb, and Mudkip is really weak to Absorb. I guess we don't have our ground typing yet, but it's still just not ideal. We don't fight a whole lot of Shroomish, so getting Qwilfish a little bit of HP is not going to hurt it. Now, evolution-wise, we'll see an evolution next episode, and then we'll get Golduck a little bit before we'll get Marshtomp. I think it's like at 33, Marshtomp at 36. And then, of course, Staryu and Starmie will be last, because we'll need that Water Stone. Which is, of course, locked behind Dive. Let Wally go catch his Pokemon. Hi, Scott. Alright, let's let Staryu take on this Zigzagoon. We haven't learned another attack yet, of course, have we? Oh, we do have Heart. I'm gonna wait till it uses Bide, and then I'm gonna swap in. Okay, so we're gonna swap in Psyduck here. And then I'm going to Tail Whip it, and then I'm going to swap back Corsola. And then I'm gonna Harden, and tap. I think we take it out. Good deal. Alright, let's swap Qwilfish up for these next couple speed fights. Yeah, we're just fishing for the poison there, and then we'll tackle it down. We'll let Staryu take on this next one, just because we got Qwilfish up to 8. Keeps everybody kind of level, same. Nice critical. But she'll heal it now. Staryu not messing around today. And don't worry about Psyduck and Corsola. We use them just a little later. There's just nothing up front that we want EV-wise for both of them. Very nice. let's swap Qwilfish up for this next fight. Get a poison on this Poochyena if we can. Maybe it'll poison itself. Doesn't seem like it. But Qwilfish has got it. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, let's swap Corsola up. Goodness. Some pretty ridiculous damage with those leech lives. Use a potion. Is the Harden even doing anything? Because it seems like the leech life is still doing a bunch of damage. Goodness, I mean, look how much damage that leech life does. Let's go heal. Alright, so we'll let Staryu do the next fight. Get Bullet Seed. Get the berries. There we go. This first episode's always fast. Surprised that Staryu learns Water Gun so early. Alright, so we have special defense next. Wretch. Stop that. Well, we just need to take out the Lotad and then we're swapping. Let's go to Qwilfish for the Shroomish. nice. That little chip should be enough for us to take it down with another Poison Sting now. We already have Psyduck and Corsola up front, which is who we want for this fight. Alright, let's take down the Lotad first. Now we just focus on the Psyduck. Alright, it is using Bide, so we're going to Tail Whip and Harden. Still got another turn of storing energy, so we're just going to do the same thing again. Get him! Very nice. Alright, we'll let Qwilfish take on these Magikarps up here. Get a bit more speed. We're just going to speed through this because it's just Magikarps that can't do anything but splash. Quicker we get a poison, the quicker the fights go. Heal up. Let's go get cut. And I'm pretty sure, but we'll double check, but nobody can learn Bullet Seed. Yeah. Let's teach cut to our Mew. Alright, and then this is where we'll end this first episode. We'll level up to level 15 off screen. And then we'll be back with the second episode later today. So until then, we'll see y'all next time.